Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Jimmy and this is Patriots Glow. Today, we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing of the DeWalt 13-inch planer. I've never had a planer before, so this will be the first time that I'm actually experiencing having a planer on hand. So today we're going to open it up, get a complete unbiased opinion on this DeWalt planer. So once we go over it, you can decide from there whether this is something that you want. It is kind of a pricey tool, and it's very important that you get what you want when you actually go out and buy something. So let's take a look at it. Let's open it up. Just for your information, this is extremely heavy. It's 92 pounds. It's a team lift at Lowe's or Home Depot. So when you go pick it up, make sure you get somebody to give you a hand. Okay, dust hose adapter right here. The thickness crank. The manual. I can't even read. I've got to figure out, I think what we're actually going to do is flip this back upside down. I know. Oh, all right. So, as long as I'm not breathing all crazy. Take the screw out right here, this bolt. There will be a flat portion right here. Find that on your knob down here. Line it up and slide it on. All right, so this is actually future me coming back to go over a couple of different things that I went over originally, but realized that we were zoomed in too far. So here we are back to take a look at all of the settings, everything that you have up front here. So right here, you actually have a knob that will stop the turret from fluctuating, so that if you want to run multiple boards through at one time, it will not fluctuate too much one way or the other, and it should plane both surfaces right at whatever you actually have this set to. So I will probably leave it on an 1/8, because if I'm sending the same boards in, I do not want it fluctuating too much. I want those boards to be roughly the same thickness to begin with. So I can run that in as far as I need to from there. You have another setting right here. This is for finishing cuts, and it does 179 cuts per inch. You also have the dimensioning cuts, which it only cuts 96 cuts per inch, but I'm guessing that is going to, allow for less wear and tear on your blades from going over the surface multiple times. I ran it on both the finishing cuts and the dimensioning cuts, and from what I can see, the finish looks almost exactly the same, maybe slightly different, but for most jobs, unless you're doing really fine detailed work, either one will actually give you a really good cut surface that you need. So let me switch to the other side. You have your power on and off. It's a nice little safety switch, up and then down if you want to shut it off. You also have a circuit breaker here so that instead of blowing a fuse, instead of blowing tripping a breaker, which I normally always have all of my power tools hooked up to a strip that's already going to have a breaker on it, but you have its own individual breaker right here. So this will pop before your strip or before any of your breakers blow. You also have a nice depth gauge right here as well. So depending on where you have this at, you will run that down. You'll keep turning it until you see this bar start to go up to wherever you want it, which, let's say a 30-second, taking a 30-second off of the top here, you'll run it until it hits that. Now your board will actually be locked in there because that's where it's going to be making its cut. So you'll actually back that off one, back that off a second time, and then you are free to come and go. Once you pull this out, 1, 2 rotations back, and then as you see, you can't run it into there. It actually stops it, and you'll be able to turn this on, run this through, and it'll grab the board and start running it in for you. So that's your depth gauge right here, and that's how your basic functions are. Now, you seen me messing with this? I swear, these look like magnets. I tried to stick it to my head, it doesn't. I don't know, I thought it was a magnet. Don't judge me. So, all right, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to the video, and hopefully you enjoy it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and turn this around. We have our dust collection port back here. All right. Twist it, then we got the dust collection port right there. So let us see if it will be so kind as to. It's kind of tight, but we'll be able to get it on there. We do have a DeWalt vacuum cleaner back here, so I wouldn't imagine this not working. So what I am noticing already, what I don't like, and I'm sure I'm going to have to purchase something, is this is going to have this hose right in the way of the planer. So as boards come out, it's just going to ram right into this hose. Another thing along with that is there are actual tables that you can purchase. It's going to be an accessory that go on the end of this to keep these boards coming out straight so that they don't get any chatter in them or bend while they're coming out. So we're going to go ahead and hook this up. Pull this over to the side so that I can kind of do both at the same time. I'll have to figure out some type of way to hold this hose up so that we can mill these, or not mill them, I'm sorry, plane them. Without running into that hose. Make sure we're off back here. All right. Good. 1, 2. All right, so we end up with a nice cleaned off board. This side obviously is not going to be nice and cleaned off, but this side nice and smooth. I actually ran it on a finishing cut. All right, so first coming and looking at it, it has done really well on this board and that board. The first board that we sent through was pine, and then this, I am pretty darn sure that this is oak. So it had no issue running the oak through, had no issue running the pine through, and obviously it's a dimensional planer, so these are pretty darn close. I'm going to go ahead and guess that these are probably exactly the same. We'll throw a tape measure on them to verify, but everything looks really good so far. All right, everybody. Well, we went ahead and planed all of these boards. I ran them all through without an issue, making sure that the height adjustment is correct, and that you'll just have to start to get a feel for. But I ran through everything. Everything turned out really good. All of my boards are the same thickness. It ran really well, didn't bog down, didn't have any issues. So the only complaint that I'm going to say that I have is all of the accessories that you have to purchase after purchasing the planer. This DeWalt planer is somewhere around $600, so if you're not getting it on sale. So for a $600 price point, this should come with more than just the planer itself. Now, like I said, I don't know how much better this planer is compared to other planers because I haven't tried any other planers, but I will say for that amount of money, this should have the support tables on the end at least, and maybe a better way to vent your chips, except for right out the back into whatever else you have back there. So, you know, some type of attachment so that you can hook your hose up to it from the side so you're not blocking your exit here. So please like, subscribe, share with family and friends. Now that I have all of these planed to the exact same thickness, I am going to go ahead and make a table video, and these are all out of pallet slats. So these are going to be two different videos. We're going to do this, and then maybe tomorrow or the next day, depending on how long it takes me to build this, we'll release the next video within the next couple of days so you guys can see what it turns out like. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you liked the review. It was quick, simple, easy, nothing big, nothing fantastic or crazy. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down in the comment box below. All right, catch you guys next video.